Oh boy, I got to start all over again. Okay. Um, yes, my name is Ray Ellen Sievert. This is Planetary Encodement, September 18th, 2023. We just heard the song Here Comes the Sun by George Harrison, and it's very symbolic of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Oh, what do you want, Edna?
I was just wanting to see everybody's face, and so I was waving. Sorry. I was still listening because some people didn't have their faces on.
Oh,
Like
well, some people.
Jacob and Tammy.
Don't.
Yeah. And I just want to say hi. Okay, that's it. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay.
All done.
Well, if you want to turn your camera on, you can. If not, maybe people want to be anonymous, but that's fine. But I am the astrologer for Light Body. I have studied astrology for way too many years, but and the way I present astrology is not like it's kind of like I'm an eclectic astrologer. I take a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We mix it together, and that's what comes out. So, if you're expecting traditional astrology, that's not going to happen. The topic tonight is going to be about the sun. The sun has been, oh God, radiating its energy to me. And even though the sun is in Virgo as we speak, we're just going to talk about the generalities, I guess, about the sun. I'm going to give you a few mind candy before we start the sun. A little bit is the sun moves through space at the average velocity of 450 miles per hour, 450,000 miles an hour. Now, I mean, I just thought that that was pretty interesting that as we are talking within this hour, we will have moved in our solar system 450,000 miles. Now, that's pretty interesting. It takes 230 million years for the sun to complete one cycle around the Milky Way. I think that's interesting. And it's a near circular path. And actually, we are going 137 miles per second. So these are just interesting facts. Going back to our Earth rotates 1,000 miles per hour at the equator, a little bit faster at the poles, and it's traveling 67,000 miles an hour. That's 18 miles per second, 18.5 miles a second. And it takes us 290, let's see, around the Milky Way, 290 years. I think that if we're with the sun, it probably go the 400, let's see, we go, oh God. Oh, the sun and the moon. I mean, the Earth and the sun move around the Milky Way together at 490,000 miles per hour. I think that's so. I just thought I'd bring that in to know that as we're speaking, we're moving very, 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 very fast through space. And I just thought that that would be a little bit of info that we're talking about. But now, as of last time, Tammy had a question about a stargate, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Our sun that we see up in the sky is actually a star. It's comparable to all the stars that we see in the sky, but ours is just up close and personal. And it is the guardian of at least 7 planets as we know it right now, which are Mercury, Venus, our Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, oh, more than that, 9. I'm sorry, I meant 9. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And Pluto, I consider a planet. Like, you know, that the scientists are trying to like discount it, but I know that I've used Pluto for many years and it definitely has its transformative qualities. So the reason I wanted to talk about the sun, and then I'm going to get back to what I wanted to tell Tammy about a Stargate, is that the sun has been coming to me probably for the last year. The energies of the sun have been coming to me. Now, what does that mean? You've heard people talk about light codes, and you've heard people talk about light language. And I really didn't understand what that meant until one morning I was laying in bed. And the reason I'm telling you this is because each and every one of you may have the chance to do this at one time or another. I didn't expect this to happen. So people talk about light codes, and I'm thinking, whoa, what is a light code? What does that mean? And I know a light code is about information. So I'm laying in bed one morning, and I don't have curtains on my windows. And the bright sunlight is coming through. It's like 9 in the morning. I think it was in the middle of winter time. And my eyes were still closed, but the sun came through so brightly. And do you ever lay out in the sun and you have your eyes closed and you can feel the sun from behind your eyes? You can actually kind of looks. It doesn't look dark. It looks really light and everything like that. Well, anyway, I just started noticing these twinkling golden lights, kind of like. And I just thought, well, that's really, really interesting. And I don't know if each and every one of you have had the experience, but did you ever look at those pictures with all the dots and then you disfocus your eyes and you see an actual picture? Does everybody know what I'm talking about? There are these little dots, and then you look at it a certain way and a picture appears if you just focus your eyes. Does everybody can anybody say that they've experienced that? You have. Pialo, have you, Sherry? Okay. Edna, I don't know if anybody, but anyway, so I have my eyes closed and this bright light is coming through and I'm seeing these sparkles, kind of like golden sparkles. And in my inner eye, I disfocused, and I didn't know that I was going to do this. I disfocused a little bit, and all of a sudden, these sparkles started making sacred geometry and geometric shapes. And I was just totally amazed. And I'm thinking, oh my God. So this is what light codes look like. So that said, I thought, oh my God, so the next morning I'm laying in bed and I'm going to do this again, although it didn't happen. And a couple weeks later, the same thing happened. The light was coming in, and I think I was just trying too hard. But that said, those light codes that are coming through, I realized are emanating through our sun as we speak. And the sun is growing through great transition right now. And if you notice, all you see, like on if you look at the computer, they'll say the sun is having these flares and it's having this happen and that happen, and there's a possibility if there's going to be a big blackout on the planet and all this kind of stuff. Well, the sun, as humans are going through their changes right now, the sun is also going through changes. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Now, we have heard that the sun is going into the Aquarian age. What does that mean? The different ages are about 2,100 years. And it takes about 25 and a half to 26,000 years ago for this whole cycle to be complete. Now, each of these ages have a particular quality to them. And the quality of the last 2,100 years has been the age of Pisces. What is the age of Pisces? Well, there are different definitions of it. Someone could say that we went out of ourselves to have authority figures, where we had the priests tell us what to do, or the governments tell us what to do. It was the age of religion. All the religions came in and they said, you have to do this, 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 and this to be a good person. It was ruled by water. It had to do about intuition. It had to do with monastic living. That means you would go to the sacred mystery schools and you would meditate day and night to have self-realization. Well, all of that is ending right now, and we are gradually moving into a new age, because what we have learned in the age of Pisces is that we no longer have to go outside of ourselves to discover who we are. We're going into an age of self-awareness. Now, the Aquarian age doesn't happen overnight. It's not like one day it's the age of Pisces and one day it's the age of Aquarius. It happens over a gradual period of time. It can happen 50 years, 100 years. Some people say it's 500 years, but it gradually starts moving in. So all of a sudden we start thinking in a brand new way. It's kind of like you take a dimmer light, and the dimmer light makes things bright or not so bright. So we are in the age of Pisces, and all of a sudden you take that dimmer light and it gets less and less and less. And then as we go into the age of Aquarius, we start turning it the other way and becomes more and more and more. So we are going from an age of the collective, in a way of being dictated of how it should be. This is the way we should go into religion. This is the way we should follow the governments. This is the way you should be. You should be this, this, or that. Okay, so that said, we are now going into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of technology, and is also the age of self-discovery. And that's what each and every one of us are doing in this group right now. We are taking our lineages from the past, and we are going back to the past, and we're deciding what is important, what is not important, so that we can discover who we are as individuals. And as we discover our own unique qualities, we are working together as a unit. It's sister and brotherhood. That's what it's all about. So the sun right now is moving from the age of being told what to do to going within yourself and knowing how to do that. So that said, the sun has been coming kind of like, and it's not coming to me, but awareness of the sun's energy has been radiating to me, saying that things are speeding up exponentially. It just is. It is. It is. And so we are going from understanding the lower self of who we think we are, going to the higher self. We are going from reflecting light, going outside of ourselves and understanding that this was what the world is around us, to understanding that everything is within ourselves. We are becoming, going from being self-centered and following all the rules to self-centering. We are becoming more and more of our true selves. That's what's happening. So, okay. This is a lot of information, but let me see. So what we are doing right now is actually, as we wake up to who we are waking up as a group soul of humanity. We are waking up and working together. So I don't know if anybody has any questions so far about what I'm talking about. So that said, I also had in 2011, right before 2012, I went to this teacher. I don't know if anybody knows who Drumvalo Melchizedek is. And he did a meditation, and he was helping people open up their Merkaba, so to speak, which when I went there didn't happen. But anyway, you know, I went there with the intention of finding out what that is. But I did discover something. And this is going back to what Tammy Lee asked last month, stargates. I've heard about stargates before, but I didn't know what they were. And I also have a definition of what a stargate is, but I'm going to talk to you about my experience. And the only reason I'm giving you these experiences that I'm going through is because it might give you some insight that you can experience that yourself. So, like when you have your eyes closed and you're looking up at the sun, you can see that emanating light. And maybe if you just focus a little bit, you might be able to see those light codes that I'm talking about. And these light codes all have meaning. So these are exercises that maybe you can experience. But, oh boy, I think I dropped my paper. Oh boy, where'd it go? Oh, well, I had a paper about stargates and it disappeared. Oh, here it is. A stargate. Oh, shoot. I don't know why this. Anyway, it refers to a door to other worlds or other dimensions. So that said, I didn't know what a Stargate was either. You know, I saw the film The Stargate with Kurt Russell. I think he was in that. And they went through this big, kind of like round disc that was discovered in Egypt way long ago. And they went through it and they were in a different dimension. And so back in 2011, when I did this meditation with Drumvalo, the next I went into this deep meditation. You know, he had you go with your angels and all this, and the next thing I knew, I was looking at the sun, and it was kind of like an etheric sun. I mean, I wasn't looking up at the sun in the sky, but in my mind, I was swimming with the dolphins and everything like that. And the next thing I knew, the dolphins were taking me up to a disc which looked like the sun, and I knew it was the sun. And all of a sudden, we went through the sun. And as we went through the sun, I end up in the star system of Sirius. Okay. I thought, oh my God, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, I'm not telling you this. I'm only telling you this that we all have the ability to go through these stargates. It's not, and I haven't had an experience like that since, but it gave me insight to what that is. It's going from one dimension to another. And when we look up at the physical sun, which can be very blinding to our eyes, there's also an inner sun that we can go through and it can take us just about anywhere. Let me see. There's somebody. Oh, people are saying things in the chats. Okay, it says, this is the time of solar flares. Were predicted to be their highest around now. You can do Tibetan sun gazing so you don't have to hurt yourself. Yes, Tibetan sun gazing is as the sun rises, you kind of like lower your eyes a bit, and maybe Jacob has experienced this. where you kind of let some of the sunlight come in, and it opens up these codes within yourself. And he ate white, pyramid-shaped cakes that had gold, among other things, to allow him to open the stargates. Well, we have the ability to go through these stargates ourselves. And the reason I'm bringing in the sun right now, because these stargates are the stargate of our own sun is offering us info to each one of us to give us insight to that inner growth within ourselves, to our higher self, to the heart of the sun within ourselves. Now, one other thing. Our sun is a star, as I said in the beginning. And our solar system has been influenced by different star systems. One of them is the Pleiades. One of them is Sirius. It can be Andromeda. It can be Antares. It can be Aldebaran. But all these star systems come through our solar stargate, our sun. And as it comes to our sun, it allows us to experience each one of these other stargates. So back in May, I think it was May, there was an eclipse of the sun at a very late degree of Aries, and actually it was opening up the Sirian stargate, which only opens usually once a year. But this particular time, because our sun is going through different transformational experiences, it's aligning with the Sirian stargate, and it's opening up each and every one of us so that we can develop and change the light codes within our soul essence, our authenticity, our soul self. So that started in May. And as we are going to the fall, another eclipse is happening, and we are going to go through another layer of that Sirian stargate activating through our stargate of our own sun. We have the ability to eliminate parts of our life that no longer serve us and help us embrace new parts that will take us to other parts of our multi-dimensionality. All of that is happening as we speak, and it's speeding up so that we can go into this new age of Aquarius. It gives us the ability to embrace our individuality in our own unique way so that we can interact with other people in humanity and build a cohesive way of being where we work with each other and not against each other. We embrace each person's unique gifts, and they will embrace our gifts. So we work together to harmonize and bring ourselves to a different level of working together. So let me see what else I have here. So we are moving from having the sun outside of us and being our guide to bringing the sun within our own heart. We are taking the heart of that sun and opening it up within ourselves to discover new parts of our individuality and refining who we are as individuals. Now, the sun is in Virgo as we speak, and the qualities of Virgo is discrimination. It has to do with critiquing, but also it is dealing with our everyday needs. So right now we are going to do a little exploring within our sun as we speak, and we are going to see how we are going to translate the energies that are coming within ourselves through each of the planets. So, are there any questions before we go into this? Okay. Like everybody to close their eyes right now. And there is a golden sun over your head. It's called your Viracocha. This golden sun that is over your head is the essence of who you are, who you've always been. It's your spark of light of who you always have been and who you always will be. It is that divine spark of your essence of experiencing life in any dimension that you choose. We happen to be in the earth dimension at this time. You're going to take that golden sun and slowly, slowly, slowly bring that down around your whole physical being, your whole biosuit. You'll be cocooned in that golden light of who you are. As you're doing this, place yourself, your vision behind your eyes. It's kind of like looking out behind your closed eyes. That is the essence of who you are, that's inhabiting this biosuit, that's experiencing the world as you know it on each and every dimension. So as you are behind your eyes, you're going to move your attention down slowly, slowly, so that you are within your heart center. And within your heart center is a golden spark of light. That is the sun, the heart of the sun, as it animates your life force. Now take a few breaths. And as you breathe in, you are inhaling the pranic light codes from the sun that animates our solar system. It animates this life force on all levels to all planets, that it is the caretaker of. So breathe in that life force and let it animate and activate the sun within your heart and the essence of who you are. And there is a saying that only with the heart one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. It's relying on that inner intuition to take you to the places that we are going. Take a few more breaths in and out, imbuing your body with the life force of the sun. Whether it's night or day, it's radiating this pranic life force. It's less during the night, it's more during the day, but it still is present, always. So when you are centered within the heart of who you are, let that take you to a place that is very sacred to you. Whether it's within your own, the room that you are sitting, whether it's to a beach, whether it's into the woods, some place where you feel life force the most. That's a very special place that you are choosing to have this wonderful solar initiation. When you find this sacred spot, you can either sit down or lie down, or however you feel comfortable to experience the sun and its divine essence. So now the sun is going to tell you a wonderful, wonderful story about its children that revolve around it every day for eons and eons and eons. Its children are the planets. The sun emits a life force to each of the planets, but it is going to tell you how it relates to its children in its highest essence at this time. The first child that is revolving around the sun is called Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Mercury at this time is receiving these light codes of the highest order. Mercury is activating your heart center through its communication to speak from your soul. From that deepest part of yourself that is your highest truth. And if you think that you cannot speak at this level at this time, just relax and know that Mercury will be there when you are ready. It will take you to the depths of who you are so that you can communicate with those around you in a way that is very, very meaningful. When you speak, you will look into their eyes and you will speak heart to heart. Mercury is giving you the opportunity to communicate at this level so that you can develop a relationship of great value. And that is where the sun's next child comes in, which is Venus. So when you are speaking from your heart, and when you are communicating from your heart, you are going to be able to know how to manifest which is very valuable. Something that is worth sharing with everyone. If you do not know what that is, just listen to Venus. She will tell you. So having your soul communicate to you at a very deep level, it opens you up to hear that which your greatest talent is, that which your greatest value is. And if you do not know that in this moment, she will reveal it over time. Just be patient. So we will listen for a little while as Venus speaks to you of her love and appreciation for you so that you can manifest the deepest essence of yourself for the world to experience. Now, the Earth is the next child of our solar system, of the sun. And the Earth is a dynamic library of all life. It's beaming and brimming with life from all over the universe. It's a replica of all that is. It's the life force of the living library of light. And the sun right now is waking up the soul of the mother and the soul of all the sentient beings on the planet right now so that she can receive the highest degree of love that she can express. Mama Pache is now taking a great initiation of living light in all of the souls, whether they are animals, trees, rocks. Every living being, human beings, is going to a brand new level of expression. And this is happening as we speak. The living blueprint of life is now in transition and changing. And even though you may see death and destruction around you, that is only temporary. That is the old life dying so that the new life can be born, and you are part of that. And she is holding you in that way. The next child is Mars. Mars is often thought as a warrior, but the transition and the light codes from our solar logos at this time is all about being a warrior of the truth. It's a truth at all costs. It's a truth that you know deep down inside of your essence. And this is the truth of your beingness. And you will fight to so that you can only express the truth, and only the truth will leave your radiance. This is your potential at this time. Being a warrior of the truth. The next child is Jupiter. Jupiter is big and expansive. And Jupiter right now is expressing through the constellation of Virgo. It means that you are living your truth in everyday life. You are feeding your temple with the highest of light codes that you can. You are experiencing your truth with those you interact with on a daily basis. You are using this truth of your discrimination in all that you do. You're expanding how you can live your life, your everyday life, in the highest dimension that you can express. Whether you're nurturing your soul, whether you're nurturing your family, whether you're nurturing the earth, it's all about the divine feminine nurturing you to your highest essence, to your highest degree. It's opening up that divine feminine within yourself. The next child is Saturn. Right now, Saturn is balancing the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the Holy Mother and the Holy Father. Saturn is radiating at its highest level right now, not control, but working together as you initiate highest integrity and highest benevolence to your highest creativity. Saturn is giving you a plan to put together so that you may be able to express that. The next child is Uranus. And Uranus is coming to the higher level of your individuality and embracing that unique part of yourself that you never thought you could be. It's kind of like dreaming that part of yourself into being and knowing that it's only knowing within yourself that it may be a story, but actually it can be a reality. It may shake up the world around you and wherever you go, but all in all, becoming that part of yourself, that superhero that you are, is a potential that you are going for at this time. Now we're going to the child of Neptune. Neptune is dissolving everything that is no longer needed within your life. She is giving you that intuition, that insight to discover the dreams that you wish to become. It's looking at the dreams of the past and being able to discriminate what is no longer needed in your ancestral heritage, in your racial heritage, in the heritage of your star brothers and sisters. Everything that no longer is needed is being dissolved, and that dream is becoming something from the past so that you can move forward into the dream of the future, your future self. And the last child is Pluto. Pluto is the child of transformation. It's of death and rebirth. So in Bright now, as the sun radiates its light codes to Pluto, it's enabling you to look at this child and decide which part of you is no longer valid and which part that you want to create. And you do this through your intuition, that very deep part, that heart of yourself that we are waking up. So as we go back through the children that the sun is radiating its light codes to, Pluto is birthing the new you to the transformation process and the divine alchemy of becoming the highest potential that you can become. It's dissolving everything that is no longer needed through Neptune. It's breaking up old structures that are no longer needed through Uranus. It's redefining that highest masculine and the highest feminine that you can be, the part where you can initiate your highest potential in a creative way. It's expanding on how you interact with those around you in your everyday life, and how you interact with yourself, and how you care for that temple that you experience your life on the Pachamama. It's how you initiate your truth with Mars, becoming that spiritual being of truth at all costs. It's being part of the library of life on our beloved Mother Earth, knowing that we are all going through a process of waking up to our highest potential, going through Venus and valuing what you are going to manifest, and having insight through that, through communicating with your soul at a very deep level through Mercury. All of these light codes are activating now. And the story of our sun, our star, is radiating this so that we, as experiencing this as human beings at this time, can manifest on a new level of being through our authenticity. In its highest spiritual radiance. These are all potentials that can and will manifest at the rate that is best for each and every one of us to experience. So as we sit or lie in our sacred space, feel the radiance of our sun and its divine stargate to open up our highest potential. Giving great gratitude for being in the presence and the divine radiance of our sun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So being in the heart and the radiance of who you are at this time, you have the potential of great insight to these light codes that are emanating. Just be receptive and receive. When it's time, we can return to where we are in this container. I have pictures up here. Oh, Jacob. I'm not sure. I can't see everybody. I have pictures up here, but Are we back yet? Oh, I can't get everybody up here. Um, hello. I can't see everybody's picture here. Yes,
Jackie,
I
could you stop sharing your screen, please?
well, maybe I should keep talking. I don't even know the time. Anyway, so oh, I don't know how to get you out. I don't know if anybody else can do this. Oh, there we go. Okay. So anyway, does anybody have anything to say so far? What we're talking about the sun? Any insights? 3 messages. Okay. Anyway, what's coming up? I know that we talked about light codes. So I guess what I'm asking everybody to do would be to experiment when you're outside and you're laying in the sun and you're looking up at the sun with your closed eyes and see if any of these light codes might come through. And all I know is the sun is because it's going through all these changes right now. And I know that we talked about ascension. And ascension basically means to raise yourself to a higher level of consciousness. And that's what we're doing on the planet right now. We're raising ourselves to a higher level of consciousness. And I know that next month, from now until October 15th, and this is the 18th, there are going to be many changes happening, but there's going to be a solar eclipse of the sun on the 14th. And I talked about that Syrian energy coming through and working with that blueprint part of yourself, that change. So from now until October 13th, and all the way to, and also on October 14th, it's going to be a time, just notice some of the changes that might be happening to you. And if you have opportunity to take advantage of any of these changes, if you know something is no longer valid in your life, now is the time to change it, because in the spring of 2025, we have gone through a whole process of really vamping up our light body in a whole way, in a way that we can't even imagine. We are going to be different. In fact, earlier this spring, I told you to write down what you thought your potential might be, and then kind of like put that little letter away and open it up in the spring of 2025 and see if you manifest what you would like. It's going to be a whole, you're going to be a whole new, different type of person. Something else. So anyway, on October 14th, there's going to be a total eclipse. I think it's going from Oregon all the way down through Mexico. We're not going to be able to see it up in Cleveland here, but it's a time where you can experience it. It would be a time right now where you can order eclipse glasses. I think they're on Amazon. They're not very expensive. And even though you may not be able to see the total eclipse of the sun during that time period, just go online and find out the exact time. I know that it's going to be total at 1:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know where you're going to be in relationship to that. But as this eclipse happens from Oregon to Mexico, if you put these eclipse glasses on, you'll be able to look and you'll be able to see chunks out of the sun being taken place. And but you don't ever, as you know, never ever look up at the sun, because I mean, with your naked eyes, you have to have eclipse glasses, and it's different than sunglasses. So I'm hopefully everybody will take advantage of seeing this eclipse that's going to happen. Now, there was a total eclipse coming off the United States in 2017, and it went from the West Coast all the way down to, down through, I think it's North Carolina. And now this one is coming, and it's coming down from Oregon to, I think it's Oregon. It might be a little bit lower than that. It's Oregon. You'll see it. Oregon to Mexico. And then the next eclipse is going to come all the way across from Mexico all the way up to Newfoundland. And that's going to be next spring. So we are going to be going through these intense eclipse cycles that are going to change us. What are eclipses? It's intensification of energy. So right now we have a perfect opportunity to take advantage of whatever is no longer needed in our lives, to assess where we want to be and take advantage of that time. Become that Mars, that child of the sun, which is Mars, becoming the truth of what we want to become, that warrior of truth, and going towards that. So I'm hoping this has given you some insight to what's happening with the sun right now. I don't know if there's any feedback, but
Raylan, what did you say about, this is Tammy, what did you say about manifesting or manifestation?
What, with Venus or now? I mean, in general.
You said something about 2 minutes ago, something about manifestation.
Okay. Yes, we have the ability right now to manifest like we've never been able to manifest before. It's kind of like a gateway is opening. And actually our sun, it's, even though we can't look up at the physical sun, our sun, the stargate of our sun is opening, and all these light codes are coming through it. And especially the Syrian light code is coming through. So we are able to reestablish our blueprint body and become and manifest who we want to be. It's like we've been doing this all along, but over the next 2 years, we have like a greater opportunity to do this. So if you get inklings of what you want to manifest, putting a plan together and trying to self-actualize it would be a really good time to put that into place. Because in 2025, the planet's going to be such a different place. I mean, we're watching it happen before our eyes. I mean, I can't tell you what that's going to be. I just know that it's happening. And now is the time to take advantage of that, the emanations from the sun at this point. Does that answer your question, Tammy?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So I guess if there aren't any questions right now, I guess that we can end the recording. And I hope that you have some insight to make the changes that you need to at this time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.